Keeping a dairy operation profitable in today's environment gets harder and harder. External forces like fluctuating milk prices, environmental constraints, and changing consumer demands all affect dairy profits. Internal concerns like feed quality, milk quality, and manure management on the farm also affect the bottom line. Dairy producers need to pay attention to both the internal and external challenges to keep afloat in today's market. Maintaining high productivity while controlling costs and still giving the customers what they want is always a challenge. Consumer expectations and demands include producing the highest quality milk that tastes good, has a long shelf life, and is safe. This is central to any operation. But dairy producers have another product that must meet high consumer expectations: beef. In order to meet consumer demand, the beef from dairy farms must look good, be tender, tasty, and safe. Dairy producers must find ways to increase yields and revenues not just from milk, but from dairy beef as well. Producers and packers alike lose money when cattle are bruised, injured, have defects, or contain residues. On average, dairy producers are losing about $70 per animal due to defects and poor condition. Value reductions come from trim losses, injection site lesions, antibiotic residues, and condemnations. To capture maximum value from market cows, there is a new management tool available. The Dairy Beef Quality Assurance Program, or DBQA, is being launched to help assure the quality and consistency of beef that enters the food chain from the dairy farm. What is Dairy Beef Quality Assurance, and why is DBQA important to you? DBQA is a voluntary program of best management practices that will improve the quality and value of market dairy cows leaving your farm. Most dairy herds market about 1/3 of their adult cows each year. DBQA can maximize the quality and value of these cows at the marketplace just by following a few simple guidelines. DBQA is a voluntary program for producers to learn basics of quality beef production with both classroom and cow-side training. The goal of quality beef production is reached by applying best management practices, or BMPs, at the farm level. Production standards provide a benchmark to develop a series of BMPs, such as animal ID, records, and proper injection site techniques. Working with your vet and other key advisors, you can develop health, nutrition, and animal care BMPs to fine-tune your herd performance and quality. The DBQA Classroom Workshop emphasizes best management practices and their application. The cow-side training includes proper injection site technique and demonstrations of injection site reactions. After completing the training, producers perform a self-assessment of their herd, identify risk areas, and complete a personal contract. The personal contract outlines the BMPs in place on the farm to meet program specifications. When better quality cows leave the farm and reach the marketplace, the producer and packer both benefit. Packers benefit when they have less trim on the floor, fewer condemnations, and more high-quality cuts of beef to send to their customers. When packers benefit, they pay more and discount less for these higher quality market cows coming through the auction barns or buying stations. When better quality beef reaches the supermarket, consumers are more confident in the beef they are buying, and this may increase beef consumption. DBQA helps you, the quality-conscious dairy producer, meet quality-conscious consumer expectations while increasing your profitability. Is DBQA right for your farm?
I think it's a very worthwhile program. When I left today, I thought, well, I don't know, I ought to stay home, maybe work, but I'm sure glad I come, and I'm really glad that I had a chance to participate in this program. I just wish my help could have been here because they were home giving shots today and at all the wrong places now after I've learned something, so it's very worthwhile.
Well, I think it's really useful. I think a lot of the farmers who are here today are going to go home and really think hard about where they give shots. I know I will. and I really like giving shots. And I thought the necropsy was really graphic. It showed, especially the intramuscular where it was green. That was really graphic, and people, I think, it opened their eyes. I think it'll help, I'm pretty sure.
Well, dairy beef quality insurance is very important to Pennsylvania because it's such a predominant dairy state. And we have like 4 times as many Holstein dairy cows as we do beef cows in the state of Pennsylvania. So when you think beef quality assurance, you really think dairy beef quality assurance because of the overwhelming preponderance of the dairy product into our food chain. Well, the dairy farmer is probably the least likely of all farmers in our country today that are opposed to change because they've embraced change as it's come towards them. They understand change. They understand that they run it like a business and you have to change in order to adapt to the changing environment around them. So I don't think that a dairy farmer that is unwilling to change is very long for this world. They also know that there's a lot of responsibility that goes with raising food. Because they're in the milk business, they have been in compliance and adhered to recommended practices to produce better milk and milk products. They understand quality assurance programs as well as anybody. And I think once they realize that the beef that they are also producing is going into the food chain as whole muscle cuts, and that we need to eliminate any risks involved to our customers, our consumers in this state.
For the consumer, the bottom line is safe food, and that's really not negotiable. They demand and expect that the food that they buy is going to be safe and wholesome for their family. To meet this expectation, the producer has to produce beef that is of good quality every time, not just occasionally. That means that it has to be free of pathogenic bacteria or bad bacteria. It also has to be free of drugs and residues that could be harmful or objectionable to the consumer.
I think the Pennsylvania Dairy Beef Quality Assurance Program's time has come, as we've heard often today. The consumers are demanding a quality product. I think the job we have at Farm Bureau and other trade organizations is to convince the dairy farmers that they are not just in the milk business, they are also in the beef business. And we heard this morning 50% of our beef animals in the state are dairy animals. So they have to recognize that they're producing beef for consumers, not just call dairy cows. There is no such thing anymore, as we've heard, market cows.
I think the ear tag will become a source of pride. The program signs are already a source of pride, and ultimately we can add a lot of meaning to that in the back pocket of producers too, so that they have good reason to take pride in the program. It's the right thing to do. Dairy quality assurance programming, dairy beef quality assurance program, beef quality assurance programming. It's the right thing to do to produce a superior product and to have it recognized as such by the marketplace.
Providing safe, wholesome, highest quality beef and milk is the dairy producer's key to consumer confidence and continued profitability. Implementing the Dairy Beef Quality Assurance Guidelines on your farm will ensure that your market cows are the best they can be. For more information, contact the Pennsylvania Beef Council, Penn State University, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, or the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau.